Hey folks, welcome to another edition of PosiTIPS with Rachelle. It is always great to be back here with you folks. I know it's been a while. I have been saving this series entitled, What is Your Problem? So I've actually got the same series tailored to Fitness Friday, so that's more of a fitness industry edition. But this is just my general PosiTIPS series here on what is your problem. So I received inspiration for this series from I went to Northwestern, so this would have been this past May for a 2-day alumni meeting, routine meeting. I go, every May. And so I was on the train, on the Amtrak train, always reflect upon, just some of the lessons I learned at Northwestern and just my alumni experience and all of that. And so receive some inspiration because I'm going to share just a few quick lessons that my Northwestern education taught me along the way. And certainly that is a big one. That is a big one. What is your problem? And so I actually had an opportunity to represent Northwestern on October 1st here in Metro Detroit at the annual Schoolcraft College Fair. And so these were just some of the marketing collaterals I had at my table. As you can see here, the beautiful campus, and right there on Lake Michigan. And you can see this is the gateway to the university. And so there's actually a full arch that spells out Northwestern University. You can tell that's a fall picture taken there. And so lastly, this one cracked me up too as well because Northwestern does not show, here we go. There we go. Look at that, beautiful campus right there on Lake Michigan. And so Northwestern does not currently, nor has it in the past, looks like I have one more, show snow and bad weather. And so this is just a blown up version of the bookmark picture. So you see, absolutely beautiful. And this looks like a spring picture. But anyway, good old Northwestern University. Certainly I've just, learned so many great lessons there while a graduate student. I, of course, got my undergraduate degree in Louisiana and then moved to Miami for my first graduate degree, and Northwestern was my second graduate degree, and just had a wonderful experience as a student, but certainly as an alum. But there's just some wonderful lessons that I learned along the way, and particularly as a student, and I just want to highlight those really quickly. First of which being what I refer to is EDP, or the ego deflation period. And so that's actually something that I created myself. I always say, my EDP, or when EDP set in, when EDP hits in. I've mentored students, incoming Northwestern freshmen from our Metro Detroit area. I guess about a handful of them over the years. I've interacted with students in career planning type of activities back on campus. And so I always like to tell incoming folks, you got it, whether it's a person that's coming in on a PhD program or somebody coming in at the graduate level, or certainly as a college freshman, and that is this ego deflation period where you essentially come in and can be it's a very humbling experience. And that's why I say, a person may come in with an ego, with, I'm used to being the smartest person in my class and I have perfect standardized test scores, whatever the case may be, coming onto campus, not in all cases, but a little slight arrogance. Hey, I did. I'll throw myself under the bus. Little arrogance of, hey, I'm the best, whatever, this and that. And then you look around and you realize so is everyone else. And so this EDP, or this ego deflation period, typically happens in the first week, 1 to 2 weeks of the initial quarter, the initial learning experience. And so it's very humbling, but also it helps you to realize that even in that uber hyper competitive environment, you recognize that, and particularly when you're in a situation like I was, where you're put in groups, there's a lot of group consulting projects and things like that, where you learn that we all have strengths and weaknesses. And partnership, teamwork, and collaboration can be a wonderful thing, particularly when you leverage each other's strengths and weaknesses. So that EDP period, the humility, and just being more grounded, of kind of recognizing that, hey, there's a whole lot of smart people in the world. And so that was a great lesson. Another lesson that I use actually quite often, just on a professional level, and that is case studies. I learned the case study method at Northwestern University. We used Harvard Business Review cases. Those are commonly used at many universities across the country, but your case study method. So I enjoyed those so much, and they just brought key issues and business problems and things like that to life, whether you're talking about a public relations problem, or an advertising problem, or marketing problem, whatever the case may be. And it's applicable to so many disciplines, even within the workplace. The case study method of HR, operations. There's just so many different things that you can utilize those case studies for. So that was certainly another wonderful example. Another wonderful example was the SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I utilize SWOT analyses very often. As you've seen many episodes, particularly on Fitness Friday episodes, where I tend to delve into more business topics and regarding fitness and the fitness industry and fitness facilities. I've used SWOT analysis very, 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 very often. But finally, is one of the key lessons, and this is such an important lesson, not obviously from a professional level, business or workplace level, but it's a very important lesson on a personal level. And that's why the title of this series is, what's your problem? What's your problem? What is your problem? All right, and so when you think about many issues that we face in life, it's easier for many folks to address symptoms and not problems. And that can result, now often cases, I'm going to say it most often results from people misidentifying what the real problem is. And so going back to Northwestern, or just going back to the case study method. And so one of the things we had to do early on, when you get that case study, you begin to read a case study, you begin to study the case study, several pages. It's very important as a very first step in a case study, whether you're actually doing a case study or in real life, trying to figure out what in the world is going on, particularly if there's problems, if there's turnover, or whatever the case may be. In the fitness realm, why someone may be struggling with gym attendance, or struggling with their weight, or having eating problems, whatever the case may be. It is so important as a first step to figure out what the real problem is. Because if we mistakenly plow forward addressing symptoms and not addressing the real problem, what we end up doing is spinning our wheels, wasting a lot of time, in many cases wasting a whole lot of money. And we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to do that. We want to have the courage, but we also want to have the clarity to solve the real problem early on. Identify what the real problem is. And so there's so many different situations where someone may be struggling on their fitness journey. I don't understand, why I've been working with this trainer for 5 years. And someone may say, I've been working with this trainer for 5 years and I have not lost a pound. My BMI is the same, and I feel like I'm just wasting money, And so that person may say, okay, well, the real problem is this personal training, and think about this personal training is expensive. They may think, this personal training is expensive. This personal training is costing me a lot of money. I got to do something about this. Maybe I can talk to the trainer. Can they lower my rate? Can they give me a package discount, whatever? So they're going in that direction, thinking that is a problem. When in fact, the real problem may be, the truth of the matter is, when that person asks him or herself, and then the truth comes out, that, hey, you know what? The truth is, I really don't care for this trainer. I have never cared for this trainer. He tells corny jokes, or he or she is condescending, whatever the case may be. And so what the real problem is, that this person has spent the last 5 years working with a trainer that he or she does not respect or like, and wondering why he or she is struggling with weight loss and fitness goals. So it's so important that we solve the real problem. All right. Oh, I don't understand. A company or organization may have problems with turnover. So we are losing half of our employees every year. Our turnover is crazy. We need to look at benefits. Perhaps we need to give them a better health plan. Perhaps we need to give them a day off, whatever. Okay. Again, they may be looking at certainly symptoms of the problem. So, and it may be, yes, and I'm not saying that in many cases, yes, a stronger benefits package may be necessary. But after doing a lot of due diligence and digging, could the problem really be that the person in charge is a micromanaging tyrant. And so people are running for the hills as fast as they can. See? So, but if you're working on a benefits package, when you've really got a leadership problem, and this leadership problem, yes, it's going to cost you a little bit more in terms of sometimes even a lot more to enhance your benefits package. But dealing with this person that is running half your employees off every year, that's a tougher problem to address, particularly if something like that has gone on a long time. But until that problem is solved, the turnover problem is still going to exist. That is an example. That is an example. The fitness, I could give you a gazillion fitness industry examples. A person may be struggling with his or her attendance, or going to their own studio. They may be a member of a studio, any type of fitness facility. I only go once a week because, I'm supposed to go 3 times a week, a person may say, but my workout partner or my significant other, whatever the case may be, they're always canceling or something's always coming up. Okay, is the problem that you don't get to do the gym 3 times a week because your workout partner cancels on you twice a week? Which certainly, hey, I'm not saying, I'm not downplaying that, whatever. Or is the real problem that you lack motivation? Because a person that is motivated will go with or without their workout partner. So is there something, if the real problem is that a person lacks motivation, then there needs to be, okay, what steps can I take to work on motivation? What steps can I work on my motivation? So that way I am not making this other person responsible for my fitness success. Because when you do that, get ready to fail. Get ready to be up and down. Get ready. Or some person may struggle with their weight. Say, I've been on diets, yo-yo diet, up and down for the last 25 years, and it just nothing has worked. Okay, is the problem that you're jumping on every dietary fad that comes along unsuccessfully for the last 25 years? Or is the problem that there are severe emotional issues that you're utilizing food to cope with? You see the difference? So unless those emotional issues get addressed, the yo-yo dieting is going to continue because the emotional issues are driving that negative behavior. Whether it be binge eating or just whatever the case may be. So we really got to think. A person may say, I'm making more money, but I just never seem to have any. Okay, that's certainly, that may be a person's truth, okay. Is the problem that you don't make enough money, even though you continue to get raises every year, or you're really doing well financially? Or is the problem that you're so insecure, you're always trying to compare and compete with everyone, so you're always got to have bigger and better, a house, a car, gadgets, toys, whatever. And so your income, as high as it may be, is not maximized and optimized. Because no matter what it is, you've got this black hole of insecurity that you're constantly trying to fill. You're chasing this, trying to fill this whole massive hole of insecurity. And until that massive hole of insecurity is addressed, and you come to the realization and the importance of being content in life with what you have, and recognizing that you can't buy happiness, no matter what you try to buy. Somebody's going to have a bigger car than you, a bigger house than you, a better vacation than you, a bigger diamond on their finger than you, whatever the case may be. Until you address the real problem, those symptoms of the problem are going to continue. And so I'm going to continue this conversation next time, but folks, I just wanted to really bring this whole issue of defining the real problem and asking yourself, what is my real problem? Unless you ask yourself that question, get ready. Get ready to get on the Ferris wheel of wasted time, money, and effort. There's always a new beginning. There's always tomorrow. But you've got to be willing to have the courage to say something is not working in my life, personally and or professionally. I've got to make some changes, because facing the real problem, and that's why I think it just, even in terms of ease, in many cases it can be easier to address the symptoms than the real problem. All right, so it's easy for a person to go get the most expensive car he or she can find to impress other people that could care less about what that person has. It's easier to do that, as financially detrimental as it may be, than to address those deep-seated feelings of insecurity, inferiority, and inadequacy that drive the behavior. So we don't have to be afraid. We don't have to be afraid of change. We don't have to be afraid of having the courage to deal head on with whatever problems that we're dealing with in life. Don't go chasing symptoms. Chase and address the real problems in our lives. We've got to do it, folks. So that's all I have for you today. I cannot wait until the episode. It's so great to be back with you, folks. I have missed you. Hope you've missed me as well. But I can't wait till next time. Until then, remember, I am positively passionate about your life and success. Make it a great